This one seems interesting, which is why I'm gonna watch it. That one seems interesting. That one seems novel and interesting and funny. That one seems funny. Canon events, unavoidable male canon events by 1Cloud9. I'm interested what canon events we're talking about. I heard that one canon event is getting a girl that says you're the first guy to treat me right. Apparently that's a canon event. I don't know. I guess we'll see what canon events we have, and if they're actually canon to me as well, we'll see, and to you guys.
Male canon events. First up, fumbling a 10 out of 10. You know, I'm not.
I feel like that's a canon event for most. That's a canon event for most men. That is a canon event for most men. I'd have to say. I'd have to say. Yeah. I'd say so. I'd say so. That is one that happens. I know other men that it happened to. Hasn't happened to me. The 10 out of 10 fumbled me, and now I have the best woman ever. But yeah, canon events. You're the first guy who treats me right. You're my best brother. Yep.
Not gonna lie, this is one of the worst ones in my opinion. Reason why we've all been through this. There's always been that one girl that you thought you had in the bag. I mean, she was fine, beautiful, gorgeous. I mean, in your mind, she goes band for band with SZA, Lotto, and Ruby Rose. Like, you feel me? If for some wild reason you think you actually have a chance with that girl, and you try to get her, and you're doing good, and then randomly one day she just goes. And for the rest of that week, you're just contemplating, scrolling through your text, look.
My 10 out of 10 cheated. So I guess you could argue that I fumbled the 10, like my original 10 out of 10, not my new perfect woman, my glorious queen, but the whore before that. If you consider that fumbling, yeah, nah, boy, I got my 10 out of 10 for now. You might fumble.
Looking at what you could possibly have done wrong. Thinking maybe she forgot about the text, maybe you said a weird joke, or just something random. Just whatever your brain can imagine for her to actually ghost you, because of course it's not just you. Well, nigga, hate to break it to you, she likes a guy and it's not you. Game is game. And the worst part about it is that oftentimes the next week she ends up hard launching with her new man. And when you see him, it's somebody you...
Yeah, the you know, the like, how do you put this? I'm not ready for a relationship yet, and then a week later you see her with another dude in a relationship, and like her relationship status, like her bio changes. It's like, bitch, you weren't ready for a relationship with me. That's the thing. Or like the I wish I could find a guy like you. I wish, that's also, I think most men have encountered that. I wish I could find a guy like you. I think, why aren't guys like you? And it's like, I am me. I am like me. What do you mean? Why are you saying that? What kind of bullshit like statement is that? I am me. Why do you want somebody else if you could have the original, mamacita? Like, dude. They just are too cowardly to say that you're ugly. That's it.
You don't even think is better than you. Well, brother, hate to break it to you, but he is. And then when they eventually break up, you're gonna be right back on her feet, begging for her to take you back. But before that, you will go through the I hate that bitch phase. After every man goes through a heartbreak, they all.
I think. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I get that. I get that. I see the vision. I see the vision. She's revealing a relationship. A week later, there was 100% overlap. People that date multiple people, talk to multiple people at the same time, an absolute red flag, and we should stay away from those. One of the reasons I used to stay away from women.
Always hate the girl for a little bit. It's inevitable, bro. Every single bad thing that you've noticed and garnered about her in the past couple of years, it just kind of comes flowing back into your brain in one rushing, angry moment until it eventually boils over and you realize you don't really hate her. You're just sad that she's gone. But you still go through the phase, though. Then you get sad and you're a little bit depressed and you're wondering why it didn't work out. Maybe you'll never find love again. Maybe something else won't happen. I don't know. You just stress. But usually you end up doing all of this stressing late at night, which leads you to the third male Canon event, 3 a.m. motivational workout. I can speak for all of us.
Oh, I feel called out. I feel called out. I feel called out. This is mean. This is mean. I feel called out.
We've all been through. Whether it was a breakup or a heartbreak, or maybe you just realized you're a bum. You went through that phase where you thought at 3 a.m. in the morning, you was gonna change the world. You started doing push-ups, started watching David Goggins videos, and you're up all night feeling motivated.
Who's gonna carry the boats? They don't know me, son.
Thinking that you're finna rule the world. You're finna be the most swole, chiseled, drizzled, gizzled, diggled, fadiddled, top tier man that you can be. And then you wake up after you pass out on the floor from doing all of them push-ups. Look at your surroundings, realize your room is still dirty, and then eventually come to the realization that you'll never be that guy. But you know something else that can send you into this motivational arc? Canon event number 4, going bald. I promise you, every
the 3 a.m. workout is not exclusive to men, to be honest. Call us 90% of out of us, 90% of us men. Yeah. It might not just be men. It might also be women. Yeah, sure. But yeah, going bald, that's a canon event. It depends on how it happens, though. Is it genetically, or is it other reasons? For me, it was other reasons. I just starved myself for like a prolonged period of time, which made my hair fall out. That won't happen again. My hair is fully recovered, but that can happen.
Every single person watching this video has gone through this phase, and most of the time it's because of your dad. Brother, I am gonna tell you right now, for the first 5 years of my life,
too bad it's not my... Hair loss is genetically in my family. If it happens, it comes from my mom's side. It's not even my dad's side. It's from my mom's side. Too bad.
I had to be completely butt naked Michael Jordan bald, because when my dad was 28, he stopped growing hair, and ever since that day he decided that he didn't want me to grow hair either. And it was the most aggravating thing of my life, and I'm sure every single one of y'all went through that same thing. And the worst part about it is that after he allowed me to have hair, he only allowed my hair to get to a certain length, which is known as the bald phase, which most of us have gone through, especially black children. And the worst part about this is that back then, when I was growing up, the mohawk was very popular. It was during the LaMelo, Odell mohawk phase, and everybody and their mother wanted a mohawk. And I wanted that so bad, but no, I couldn't get it because my dad said, and I quote, "If you get a mohawk, you have to walk around naked everywhere because..."
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Should the day come I get bald, I just shave everything off and go beard. I already have naturally a good beard. A beard growth. I'll just pull a Tectone. Get and go bald and then you know, go beard. Instead, that works. Now if I get it, I'm pulling a hair transplant card. Yeah, true, mohawk is mid AF. Better mohawk than no hair, I guess. Nah, mohawk looks odd. I just go bald at this point.
Because the Mohawk tribe did. Yeah, I don't know why that nigga said that. That was some fucked up shit. But basically, he was just trying to get me to be bald like him. So, hey, yeah, I guess it kind of worked. For a little bit. Now we got these. But something else that dads all...
Why the Yoshi? I was like, huh? Did my laptop just freeze? And it was just, okay, Yoshi.
Thing made us do was help them around the house. And one thing that I know for sure that we all went through was our dads getting mad at us when we didn't hand them their tools fast enough.
I'm not holding the flashlight correctly. Yeah, I know that. That's a canon event for sure.
Brother in Christ, I have almost been shot, almost lost my life. Heck, I thought I had AIDS at one point. But I have never been more scared in my life than when I used to help my dad do work around the crib. Because for some reason, dads just have a big fascination with doing mechanical work around the house. And while they're actively doing this act of stupidity, most likely messing up the whole house, they decide to exert their frustrations on their kid that they told them to help. And my brother in Christ, I know every single person watching this video can relate.
Yeah, if he fucks up, it's not his fault, it's yours. For not handing the tools fast enough, for not holding something correctly. It's always yours.
You didn't hand your dad that tool as soon as he asked you to, or if you moved a tiny little bit when he asked you to shine the flashlight somewhere, the amount of anger and rage that man will exert onto your body would be scarier than meeting a polar bear in the Arctic who hasn't eaten for weeks. And honestly, I've experienced a lot of trauma from doing stuff like this. Like, the amount of trauma I've gone through from just holding tools is probably equivalent to the slaves back in the olden times. But after this, as a kid, you know, you can get pretty traumatized, scared, but also angry from what your father did. So angry that you even think about potentially fighting him. It would also be the worst mistake you ever made in your life, because he will beat your ass. Every single man in his life has thought about fighting his dad. I say fighting for a reason.
There's a reason why all these memes go around of like you in your prime versus your dad in your prime. There's a reason those exist. Especially on TikTok, it's like these slides of like you versus your dad in your prime. Both of your prime. Who wins? Like you now versus your dad in your prime. Yep, those exist for a reason.
Because you will never beat him. I don't know what it is about fathers, but like they will never lose to their son, period. Especially if it's fist. Like, you could be 6'5", 280. Matter of fact, you made John Jones call you his pappy, but as soon as you run into your 5'9" father, he will beat the living breaks out of you. And even though we all wanted to fight our father, we none of us have actually did it, because we knew the reality of that. I actually almost did it one time, and there's a reason why I said almost, because I realized very soon that I would get my
I beat my dad in arm wrestling. I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough.
Ass absolutely plastered. I love my life way too much to ever do that to myself. Once you realize that you can't possibly beat your father, you go from fight to flight. Which leads me to thing number 6, running away. Every man has thought about running away from home. Brother, I cannot explain to you how many times
I definitely have. I certainly have, yeah. Yeah, I have. But I don't think also girls do that. My dad, prime. He won't fight. He will just show me the girls he dated. The man was a Riz King during his time. That's crazy. My dad was pretty solid as well, especially financially well off. Was, by the way, was. No more. No more. But yeah. I would probably win. But everything else, nah.
I thought about running away as a kid. The crazy part about it is I live in a 2-parent household, suburban home, live in Nashville, Tennessee, a predominantly white city. I live in the suburbs of the suburbs. You will see white people walking their dogs and kids playing in the street. I live a good life. I had a good childhood. I even went to private school. But for some reason, whenever my mom pissed me off or my dad did something I didn't want to like, I always thought about getting a big ass stick, a little red piece of cloth, tying it together, and putting all of the important stuff in my life, like the PS4, in the sack, and walking right out. I feel like this is a Canon event, not just for guys. I feel like it's everybody. We as men are the ones who are actually the closest to doing it. Because I'm not gonna lie, one time I literally started packing my bags because my mom pissed me off so much. And I was almost done doing it.
I've never done that. I think I've thought about it, but I've never done that. My dad was a friend that got with the ugly girls on nights out, and his mates could have the 10 out of 10s. So basically what you're saying is, your dad was the guy fighting the 400-pound whale so his homie could get with the 10 out of 10. That meme. That's crazy. Nah, my dad had Riz. Even though he was short, or is short, he had Riz.
So close to committing. And then I realized how badly my mom would beat my ass if I actually ran away, so I just stayed. That's what usually happens, because
There's two things I fear. God and my mom. The problem is, I do not know who I fear more, and I'm questioning it. And oftentimes, I'm leaning towards my mother. That's what he says he did. Bro really took one for the team.
It's never worth the beating because they will find you. But usually that type of stuff will happen when you get grounded. And something else you would do when you're grounded is thing number 7, reading a Diary of Wimpy Kid book. I don't know why we all did this, but we all read that book in our floor whenever our parents.
I didn't. That wasn't the thing here, really. That wasn't the thing here. In general, boys didn't read much. Boys didn't read much here. Would I fear cockroaches? Asmon Gold should invite you.
Took away our phones or our PS4s or whatever. Like, it was just canon event to the fullest. And if you wasn't a guy, if you was a girl, you would probably read the Dork Diaries. I feel like guys also read the Big Nate books, stuff like that. It's just that same type of category genre. And I would always get those books at the Scholastic Book Fair too, bruh. Cause like, nigga, whenever that boy Jeff Kinney cooked up a book, I ain't gonna lie, niggas was on they seats, on they toilet, locked into them joints. I'm not gonna lie. But something that's also tough though is number 8. Realize that you'll never go pro in the sport you love. You know, as a man, I feel like this is actually the most heartbreaking thing you can go through. Because yeah, fumbling a 10 out of 10 is bad, but there will always be more fish in the sea. With your sport though, you only really get one chance at this. And once you finally had that moment of realization that you will never go pro in your sport, whether it's basketball, football, it's truly one of the most heartbreaking things you can ever go through. I remember I was a big basketball player back in middle school, and when I got to high school, I thought it was gonna be the same thing.
I was into archery quite a bit. And I was pretty good. I was quite good. I'm still pretty good. I'm still very good, even though I'm out of training. Very, very good. But yeah, that dream fell apart pretty quickly. Quan Mills. I got my twink cat boy homies pregnant. Dork Diaries, oh my god, yes. Let me tell you something, I'm the reason many of my classmates started reading smut. You're telling me you are not a gooner? You are the class gooner in this case. Yeah, you are a bad influence, bro. That's crazy. You know what I did? I infected my entire class with dark humor. Start black humor. Wrong translation. Dark humor. That was something. At one point, everyone started cracking the most disgraceful jokes because of me. I infected those like a parasite.
And then one random day, Darius Garland pulled up to my local gym, and I realized very quickly that NBA was never going to be a reality. But I was delusional, so I thought, you know what, maybe if I really ball out my freshman year, I can get some looks. You know, I could really go crazy in a good route leading up to my senior year. Well, I was a JV bench player. And I was good too. I was averaging like 20 points a game, but the coaches just didn't mess with me. But then I thought, you know what, maybe the coaches are just, you feel me, purely hating on me, which they were. But then I thought, you know what, maybe I need to transfer somewhere to get more PT. Maybe that's what I really needed. And then I realized that I was never finna grow past the height of 5'9". Yeah, I haven't grown since freshman year. So yeah, I'm basically trying to say I'm fried. But every man has to go through that phase to realize they're just a regular guy. Just because every motivational speaker tells you that you can do whatever you want in this life doesn't mean you.
That's very true. But I also think like these motivational videos, these motivational things are just kind of useless. They make you feel like you're doing something, but in reality you're not doing something. It's just dopamine corn, basically. It really is. I never said I never goon to weird shit. Yes, I know, but I know you goon to weird shit. People do love their instant dopamine dopes. Yeah, true. I watched these two. And I mainly started working out a lot, also, because of those. Though, and also, watching all those, like, workout and motivation things, especially workout motivation things, and seeing all these jacked up dudes, definitely added to developing body dysmorphia. I can't lie. That stuff does work.
actually can do it. I'm just keeping it real because I'm sorry, buddy. If you're 5'4" and you're trying to be an NBA basketball player in this economy, in this league, I'm gonna be honest, brother. We have Wimby's playing point guard, bro. You're not Muggsy Bogues, bro. But another tough realization that we've all been through. Realizing that you're in the friend zone. And I don't care who you think you is. We've all been in this category. As a guy, we've all thought.
Never been in the friend zone. Never. That never happened to me. Because when I like somebody, and I realize that they don't like me back, like once I ask them out and it's like, yeah, no, we're good, I disengage. Because I know that's not good for the relationship between us. It's also not good for my heart, so I will take my distance. I will keep a little bit of more space. So the friend zone doesn't happen to me. It never has. I was much more rational. Also, I never really had the time to be in the friend zone. I got to a relationship at 11. My first relationship ended at 18. Then I never really had somebody in that regard where I was like even able to be in the friend zone, even if I wanted to. And then Frog. That's it.
Once if we were a good enough friend to a girl that she would eventually crack and decide to settle down with us. But another canon event that we've all been through is realizing that that's not how life works. As a matter of fact, she actually knows that you like her, yet she doesn't care and she'll still use you for free car rides, free money, free food, and free attention. This is one of the toughest realities we have to learn as a man, but every man has to go through it. I remember I was 13 and there was this girl I liked and she broke her foot. So I offered literally carry her around the school because we were just good friends. She actually ended up getting pregnant by another guy at 13, but that's a different story. But another
getting friend zoned by a chick that got pregnant at 13 is diabolical. That's a wake up call. That is a wake up call. Friend zone, bro. I stay away from girls until last year. Yep, I can see that. I can see that. But hey, the girl you got right now is pretty good. From what you were telling.
Another pain that we all had to go through is going to the bathroom in a public setting and not knowing the urinal rule. And every single guy watching this video knows exactly what I'm talking about. I remember as a kid, I was at my school and it was like a student teacher day or whatever, I don't know. And for some reason the parents were on campus. And I walked into the bathroom and there was a grown ass man using the left urinal. And the middle and right one were open. And according to the urinal rule, if there is 3 urinals, you have to use the left, you have to use the right, and it's the center one, it's the only one available. You wait your turn. Unless they have blockers or
Exactly. If there's 3 urinals or more, whatever combination it is, if the left and the right one are being used, you will not use the middle one. You'll wait. Nobody goes the middle ones. And there are no walls. At least most urinals here in Germany have no walls. Which means that if you wanted to see pee-pee, you could see pee-pee.
Binders where you don't gotta see another man's pee-pee. But as a kid, I didn't know that, so I ended up using the middle one right beside him. And I remember to this day, the look that this man gave me was a look of absolute disgust. I'm not...
That's so true. That's so true. That's accurate. That's accurate. It's like, bro, disgusting. Disgusting. I usually don't use public restrooms. I do, but only for the small part. Just take a piss. I'm not taking a dump in public restrooms. No, that's not happening. That is not happening. I'd rather explode. I'd rather shit myself than do this. I'll be honest. I'd rather shit myself than do it in a public restroom. That's not happening.
Not gonna lie. And as soon as he got done pissing, turned to me, patted me on the back, and said, "Son, heads up, whenever you use the bathroom, you never piss right beside another man." I've never seen that man ever again, but I thank that man for truly changing my life. But this is one of those rules that once you learn it, never forget it, or else niggas will clown you. Something else that we've all been through in the bathroom, though, is being around that one kid who decides to just pull down his whole pants just to take a little piss in the urinal back in elementary.
There's worse things. There's this one kid. There was always this one kid who was a weirdo. pulled down his pants and showed you his cock while pissing. Like, bro pissed and then turned around and showed you his cock. And I was like, bro, I did not need to see that. I didn't need to see that shrinkled little wiener. No, what do you mean? No. But I had 2 of these. I've encountered 2 of these. I didn't even know why as a bisexual I still follow that urinal rule. I think it's to respect straight people. I think it was just the bro. It's just the bro code. I think it's just the bro code. It was naturally established eventually. I don't know. It just.
School, you know, brother, this one was horrible. Usually it will be the special ed kids, but at the same time, it's like, brother, please have some common sense. That's such a great statement. And usually they would be farting too, and they would just thinking this. Stop! But at the same time, we've all done it when we was younger, and then we had a grown man walk into the bathroom and instruct us to never do that again, and then we changed our ways. Something that we haven't changed as guys is number 11 or 12, I don't know at this point. Putting your hands in your pants for warmth on an ice cold freezing day. This one I know we've all done. I'm actually doing it right now. I'm not gonna lie. And no matter if you want to be honest or deny it, we've all done it. Let's just keep it real. It's amazing.
I've never done it like through the pants. I've never done it like regular through the pants. Like just like the pockets, but I've never done this regularly. At least not consciously, at least not as far as I remember. Maybe I've done it before, but not like that. I don't remember at least.
One of the most sensational feelings ever. You get to put your hand next to life. It's amazing. I don't know. It's just vibey. Here's the thing with this stuff. You gotta be very careful where you do this act, because doing it while nobody's around is cool, but if you're in a crowded room space and you just got your hands in your pants, like, brother, who raised you? That's where the creep allegations come in, and you don't want that. They don't understand, but at the same time, let be classy. But speaking of balls, the next Canon event that we've all been through is chilling around the house playing GTA or Fortnite or something, and then all of a sudden, randomly, you just feel a sharp pain in your balls, and you just start clenching them. You start.
Is that the sperm cramps? Maybe I'm the only one, but guys, maybe I'm the only one. But do you have this too? At random, there's just a sharp pain in your chest area for a few seconds, and then it's just gone. I know multiple men that have this. That is a Canon event. The sperm cramps are real, chat. My dad does this openly in the living room. It's very uncomfortable. He sticks his hands down there and doesn't understand why I find it gross. Understandable.
Grabbing them. You start praying to God because you think that you'll never have kids again. You start wondering if you have cancer or maybe you got an ST.
It's more like, you know the meme with like Master Oogway? My time has come. That's the one.
Or maybe if you gooned too much. I don't know what you did. And then after it goes away, you eat.
I am goon. But at that point, you have blue balls. At that point, like, it's sore. It hurts, I would assume. Like, if you go that far, like, if you do it that much that your balls start hurting, I'm questioning things. I'm questioning if you are healthy or not.
Immediately get on your knees and pray to God, promising him you would never jerk off again if he heals your pain. And then 3 nights later, you end up jerking off again. But hey, game is game. But after you goon, you get a negative feeling. You feel shame. You promise to God you will never do it again, yet you feel defeated. See, this right here is what we call post-nut clarity, which is the next.
Yeah, post-nut clarity. We definitely had that one. We definitely, most of us had that one. I would argue. No, I get screw cramps occasionally. If I pick up a water slide too harshly that I almost want to puke. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. I have a natural affinity to also having like cramps in my legs. I don't know why. It's just something that happens. I think it's actually for me family wide. Everyone has this. It's odd. But yeah. I will never experience post-nut clarity again. I've not watched or consumed single adult media. The only stuff I get is unwanted, and that's on Twitter.
Canon event, and probably the most popular one, because the only time that you won't feel this is after the first one you do, back when you were most likely younger, which is sick. Honestly, it's sad that so many little kids are gooning, but it's whatever, I guess. And after that first goon, you felt alive. You felt like you just discovered the greatest thing on earth. Then after that second one, you really quickly realized that you just formed and started an addiction that you will be very lucky to get out of. There's downhill, and you just keep on getting more downhill until you eventually stop and become a better human being, which a lot of y'all haven't done. Let's just keep it real. At the same time though, you will never escape post-nut clarity, even though I had one homie who did it like 10 times a day, and apparently he just
What kind of regenerative ability has this guy? What kind? What? 10 times? 10 times? 10 times. How does one do this 10 times? That regeneration must be like Boo Piccolo level. Like, I don't know, bro.
stopped happening, but he also looked very depressed, so I think he just had it permanently. You already know what I'm finna say though. Game is game, jizzle is jizzle, and don't fiddle your pickle. Let's get to it. But it's a part of being a man, and game is game, and that's just how life is. When you retain that though, you will get superpowers. Powers that would never be feasible to that average gooning man. And you do that as soon as you get into the next canon event, aka semen retention. Every single man has gone through this. I don't care what y'all say. We've all gone through.
I can't deny that low fat was a thing. I can't deny. I can't deny. I can't deny that that's the case. I don't think I can. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's just it. That's just it.
Semen retention. We thought that by holding our seed, we would turn into spiritual soul or something. In all reality, you kind of do. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of get superpowers. You feel like you can move mountains, start thinking more clearly, you start getting more ideas. There's really no negative to holding your seed. And then we eventually all fail. But at the same time, we keep on going. But the first time you go on this path,
I have not failed yet. That's also because I don't watch adult content anymore, because I think it's gross. I am been stronger than most men.
You think you're a superior human being, though. You think you're better than everybody because you can hold your seed, and you call all of the regular 1 to 2 time a week gooners peasants in your eyes. You think they're just weak, inferior beings, and that's just how you will think until you eventually become one of them again. Game is game. But the last canon event I want to talk about is video games falling off as you get older. This one's more of a maturity thing. As you get older, I don't know if it's just me, but like video games just aren't as fun anymore. Like
Nah, that hasn't happened anymore. The reason for that is different. The reason video games didn't fall off is just that there's nothing great out there anymore. I really realized how good videos can be after I played Expedition 33, which is, in my opinion, the best turn-based RPG. Too bad it's French, but regardless, one of the best turn-based RPGs ever made. It does not even come close. This game is peak. This is probably one of the best games in the last 5 years or so.
Only games I play now is NCAA, and it's really just to cool down and just to beat my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I can't get immersed in a game nowadays like I did back when I was younger. Maybe it's because I have responsibilities, or maybe it's just because games fell off. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of sad. Hopefully GTA 6 can bring that back out of me, but until then, we will see. But I feel like every man kind of goes through this, and if you didn't, shouts out to you. But hey, go ahead and tell me anything I missed. If you like this video, go tap into my streams. They're very entertaining. I'll be doing yaps, vlogs, challenges. It's crazy. It's fire. It's blowing up right now. Also, post Cloud here. Go tap into my Discord. We have a very thriving community, and I know you will love it. And plus, if you love me, you'll love it even more. Joe, go tap in. Link to the Cord is the top pinned comment. You can't miss it. And add me on Snapchat and follow me on Twitter. Blah blah.
That's the end of the video. I had fun. This was a good one. This was a good one. A lot of these I actually had. And based. He's a follower of Christ. That's based. What else? What else can I say? What else can I say? That's based. Definitely. Yeah, but that was fun. I hope there's a part. Eventually, there's a part 2, but that was cool. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.